Hello, Stuart.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, lots of things have happened since the last time we spoke, I think.
It's a different world since the last time TLDR was on the airwaves, my friend. It is a different world.
We just said this, like the first time we recorded one of these, we were talking about Ed Miliband, and right now, Ed Miliband is no longer our boy is now Jeremy Corbyn.
The big JC taking us to the promised land. They were much simpler, less austere times, much less Brexit-y, Trumpy times last time TLDR was on the airwaves.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just to look at ourselves and then think, like, how were we once so naive?
How did we try and get a podcast off the ground and leave so much fertile, satirical ground just unseeded?
Yes.
That is surely the biggest tragedy of the last couple of years, is that we have just let some frankly mind-boggling news pass us by.
Yeah, I blame myself as well, because I had a job for such a long time where I had no spare time whatsoever.
How inconsiderate of you to have found gainful employment since we...
So it's just, I've got some time back now, so I said to you, like, what's the best thing we could tackle? And there had been a few ideas.
Yeah.
But then I just came in, basically on the last minute last night, E3, we're going to do E3.
And I said, having literally watched none of E3, this was a spectacular idea. And so here we are.
It must be fantastic. I mean, I've written out everything that happened. Nearly every game that's there is on paper in front of me. And you're like, yeah, I think I watched a video or two, maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the thing, is that, like, as you're giving me these bits of news, I am going to be reacting to these firsthand. So this is going to be like, this is essentially my E3 now as live. Because, you know, I've seen, I think, some of the headlines, but like, Microsoft revealed roughly in the region of 100 games, and I think I heard about 2 of them. So, you know, I'm going to be going, oh, really, I didn't hear about that. Like, so I'm going to get real-time reactions here to some of these.
Oh, that's great. I'm happy to be your surrogate E3 presenter.
I am going to freak out when you tell me that Halo Wars 3 is coming.
Well, I've got good news and bad news.
I'm sure you have.
So, I've just come up with this. Welcome to TLDE3-R.
Nice. Really snap.
Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
That needs you need a jingle for that exact. You need to splice something in. TLDE. What was it?
TLDE3-R. Right, so are you drinking anything? Are you bringing strawberry daiquiris?
I'm not drinking strawberry daiquiris. I'm drinking a cheeky little 2014 F2.
Never even heard of F2. Never heard of it. Did not know that was a grape. But there you go. I was going to get a Shiraz, but this was cheaper.
That's probably why you never heard of it.
It's pretty nice. Sainsbury's fine.
So yeah, I was at the Lidl today, and I thought I was going to get Beltins, but then I was like, no, hang on, we're doing TLDR again, so I'm going to go to the other store next door, and I'm going to buy some Amstel.
Hey,
right. So I hope this is the first of many to come back.
Fuck yeah, season 2. Season 2.
Get season 1 on box set soon. So, don't pre-order season 1 on box set. Don't pre-order things. So, E3 this year had lots of press conferences. I'm quite surprised that PC Gamer had one, you know, the magazine.
Excuse me?
Yes, PC Gamer, the magazine, had one. And Devolver Digital had one as well.
No, Devolver Digital, that is one of the press conferences that I have seen bits of. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that one, we'll get to that.
Oh!
So, EA's conference started off this year, and I have to say, for conferences to start E3 off with, they could have picked a way better one, because it just didn't really work for me. Nothing really clicked. And I'll be fair, lots of it seems to be stuff that I'm personally not interested in, but other gamers might do.
I mean, for me, that is EA all over, really.
That's it. That is EA summed up.
So it starts off with this huge marching band, and then they're like introducing the new Madden, and it's got a single-player campaign. And okay, that's a new thing for them. And then in back of my mind, I'm going like, yeah, but what about FIFA? Does that have a single-player campaign? And they don't mention that. So the entire Madden thing, because we're here in Europe and Madden is like not advertised at all, so none of us really care.
I mean, I care. You know that I'm a big cheesehead. You're aware of this.
Oh yeah, you're a fucking Packers fan. That's it.
Yeah, I care about Madden. I must say I don't care at all about the single player campaign. A campaign? Is that what they're called? Career mode. And I can answer your question FIFA wise. I'm assuming it will be in FIFA. Last year, FIFA's big selling point was, for the first time ever, single player campaign. So that was like FIFA's big deal last year. So Madden this year, I guess. I assume it will be back in FIFA. Just EA's business model tends to be
what worked last year is going to work this year.
Once something's rolled out, it's a given that it'll be back again next year. So I'm assuming it'll be in. But yeah, I'm guessing that's why it's such a big deal for Madden and FIFA didn't get a look in, because it's already a thing.
Right. So then they show Battlefield 1, but the way they introduce it is they're emphasizing the community and streamers and people in the audience. And they're just showing clips of these Twitch streamers. And again, I can count on one hand how many Twitch streams I've watched in my life. Not counting Pokemon Let's Plays.
Hey.
And it's like, I get why they're there, but they're not connecting for me. So I'm not like, oh wow, look at these people playing Battlefield 1. I mean, it's advertising, but it's not reaching me. But I'll freely admit, I'm not the demographic here.
But so wait, they had like a key feature of their show around Battlefield 1 and streaming Battlefield 1.
No, just showed clips and bits for like people who were streaming Battlefield 1. So like,
what was that trying to sell? I mean, Battlefield 1's out.
Yeah, I know. So I think they're just trying to emphasize the community aspect of it. Like, we're more than just games. We're providing group experiences, things like that.
Does that, I mean, super cynical, but like, does that not a thing of like, well, we haven't got a Titanfall or Battlefield coming out this year, but we need to mention these because these are our flagship titles. Don't buy COD. Don't buy COD.
Well,
don't buy COD.
They did have something for Battlefield 1 because after they'd done that, and it's like about 10 minutes, they continue on with In the Name of the Tsar, which is DLC coming out for Battlefield 1 involving pre-communistic Russia.
Imperial Russia probably would be the...
pre-communistic Russia.
Yeah, Imperial Russia would probably be the...
On the brink. So it's like, it's cool, new gameplays, new fields, new units, but they didn't use the streamer aspect to emphasize this. It's just like, oh, this is stuff we've seen before, except now it's bearded guy _24 throwing a grenade in a horse.
Yeah, now when you kill somebody, they go, "Da, good shot, comrade."
They actually,
that's what it would be.
They showed female soldiers, so like the feared Russian death squad from back in those days. And
that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Hey, the fucking Gamergaters will hate that.
They fucking will, mate. It's like this entire E3 is like geared against them.
That's something to talk about later on as well, isn't it?
So then they talk about esports and these contests are setting up, and it's all, again, it's not my thing that I get into as a gamer.
I was about to say there's a definite theme emerging here, especially from your side of it, where it's like, yeah, this doesn't interest me, but I know it's part of the culture.
I know. I'm not trying to slam it or anything. I'm saying that all of this could be very impressive for someone if it was their cup of tea, but I absolutely don't care.
Oh no, absolutely. Like, I know you're not saying there's no inherent value in it. You're just saying not for me. Like, I know.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make it very clear here. I'm not trying not to be a negative Nancy. So these two blokes come up on the stage, and they're called Men in Blazers. Have you ever heard of Men in Blazers?
I have heard of them. I believe they're an American soccer podcast.
I thought they were British.
Are they British? I've heard the name. I do not know anything more than that. But it is a footy podcast, though, yeah?
It is a footy podcast.
Right, yeah. Then that is the full extent of my knowledge of Men in Blazers.
Well, people seem to like them, but I thought they were absolutely awful and cringeworthy.
I think our friend Simon might like Men in Blazers.
Oh, great. Our friend Simon has no inherent taste anymore.
I'm sure. I could be wrong. But I'm sure I've seen him mention them on Twitter. So.
It's like, I know what I am on YouTube. I'm nothing, and I know this is just something we do for fun, but I really, I didn't feel anything from them. I'm like, okay, can we skip this bit? Can we go to the next one?
I'm guessing they were there to promote FIFA then.
Yeah, they were talking about FIFA and esports players. Like, what is this esport player going to do instead of like Ronaldo or whatever? Like, facetious. Again, not for me. Yeah. So they wheel out a YouTuber, like this bloke in a shirt and glasses and the spitting image of me if I weighed about 100 pounds less and was in actual shape. So this guy, and again, I'm not saying I could have done better, but he's there on stage and he's like, you all know me, I am, I forgot his name as well.
So you took 7 pages of notes, but you didn't write this guy's name down.
See, that's my point. He says, you all know me, I am blank. And then he stuttered a bit, and I felt like he's probably well known somewhat, otherwise they were not going to put him on stage, but I felt like he had no prior camera experience, in front of an actual audience. So he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
So I'm here to talk about Need for Speed Payback, and then he pauses, and then
I guess this is the problem with, like, if you're a prominent streamer, right?
Yeah.
Your thing is talking over the thing that you're doing at the time. Like, there is constant feedback to be given to the listener because it's an interactive thing. You're doing it at the time. Whereas if you're there to present something, it's quite a passive... that is not a skill set that, like, would translate, really. No, it's a different skill set completely. So, like, getting these guys to do these things is clearly, we just want the name value. But like PewDiePie is not a stand-up comedian. He is a streamer, really. Like, he would not be able to get up and do like a conference. That's not his skill set. And he's the most famous streamer in the world.
Yeah, like I've done when I worked in hotels, I've done banquets and conferences and weddings. And I can grab a microphone and be like, ladies and gentlemen, guests, etc., and I'll just have a short speech. I don't want to say I wouldn't be nervous in front of millions and millions of people watching me at that time, but I might have done a better job than him.
Yeah, like...
That's my idea anyway, and that's a bad thing. Anyway, Need for Speed Payback, as he very awkwardly segued into. It's a new Need for Speed game. I don't know when the last one was. I think it might have been like 3 years ago. And I know that they were like all these street races, but they managed to turn it into something, at least with this one, Fast and the Furious.
There was some weird story mode built into the last one as well, to that sort of end. Is this one sponsored by energy drink, like the last one was?
Oh, I didn't see anything like that.
There was like, I can't remember what it was. I want to say Mountain Dew, but I might be completely wrong.
But there was some energy drink
like built into the last one, and also there was a load of like prominent street racers in like who were like famous quotation marks in the world of street racing. One of whom is like full on yakuza. Who's there any mental? Like seriously, like it's like full on yakuza, and he was just in Need for Speed. Is there any of that random shit in this one, or do we?
No, they showed like it seemed to be an animation. I don't think it was actual gameplay. Just of a woman driving a car, and then other people driving cars, and then she jumped up on top of the truck, and then the truck fell over, and then a new car came out of the truck, and that was about it. So like I said, it seems to be like it's got like Fast and Furious tones now.
Sorry, just you don't realise how truly juvenile this shit is until you hear it said in those terms. There's one driving a car, cool. Then some more cars, and one hit a truck, and then a car came out of the truck.
I have to say, it looked really cool. It really, well, like I said, you can't really judge something just based on an animation.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Then they go over in a new IP from the guy who did Brothers. Have you ever played Brothers?
Brothers made me weep. I am not ashamed to say. A mate of mine swore by it when I was first getting into like PC gaming, and he bought me it for my birthday, and like on Steam, like just gifted me it, and he was like, "You have to play this." Like, and then I played it as it is intended in one sitting, 3 hours maybe. Just sat and banged it out, as if it was an interactive movie. And I am not ashamed to say I wept at the end of Brothers. It is a truly, truly remarkable experience. One of my favourite games of all time, if you can call it a game.
Well, that's great, because I've got it in my backlog somewhere, so I definitely have to play that at one point.
Oh, you haven't?
I have it somewhere in my Steam library, but
I was about to say, if anybody is listening to this that hasn't played it, go right now. It's only, I think even now it's only about £8 on Steam at the absolute most. Go buy it, play it. It is absolutely... I can't speak highly enough of it. It's one of my favourite experiences ever in video games. It's fantastic.
Well, the same people that did that, have done a new one called A Way Out. And it's basically a prison break and then 2 prisoners on the run from the law.
Oh, so it's going to be very much... Because the controls...
It's a similar idea, like you have 2 characters, but they have to play together.
Yeah. Because the controls in Brothers are really, like, at first, very jarring. So I'm guessing it's going to be the same sort of thing again.
Well, this is more aimed towards multiplayer. They say you have to play it with someone. And preferably somebody who's sitting on the couch right next to you.
Oh, but a game designed for couch co-op in 2017.
I know, it blew my mind.
Fucking hell.
It looks really good, and the bits they showed, it's like everything is oozing with character as well. Like, the people are individuals, they're not, like, just there. And it seems like it's going to be massive, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
Oh, well, I mean, see, this is what I was saying. I was kind of joking at the start when I was saying about, I'm going to be reacting to this as live, but that is actually genuinely exciting, because that's not something that grabbed the headlines. That isn't something that I heard about. That's genuinely exciting.
Oh, but that's really weird, because it's one of the things that I only wrote down A Way Out and Brothers, and I remembered the most of.
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of see why, because I suppose as well, in like EA, that's not how we think of EA anymore. Really, we think of EA now as being like, they are the big AAA titles, like all cinematic all the time, like just banging out the same fucking franchises. So a new IP, like, exciting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Then they follow that up with another football game, sports game.
See what I mean? Was it? Well, let me guess. This would have been MLB.
NBA something.
Ah, damn it. Oh, no one even plays their NBA games. They're terrible. You should stop doing them.
I don't remember much from that presentation. It's just, it was basketball. I'm like, okay, looks cool, but I'm not the big basketball game fan.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, right, like, the problem you have is that, first of all, for me, I can't stand basketball. Like, I enjoy most sports. Basketball, I really tried. I just cannot enjoy it. I've tried, but I cannot get away with 2 teams of genetic freaks taking turns to score with seemingly no consequence. But the 2K NBA games are fucking incredible. As a video game, like, regardless of whether you like the sport or not, the NBA 2K games are awesome, and especially if you're playing against another human player, they are the best sports games, like, best as in most fun. And like, the fact that EA is up against, like, the fact that I have no interest in basketball at all, and yet I fucking love the NBA 2K games that much, like, EA's got no chance, absolutely no chance. They should just stop doing them.
Right, and then they actually garnered so little interest from the public as well. At one point, I've written down here Jeb Bush, and I'm like, Jeb Bush? Oh, right. Because at one point, Jeb Bush went around like, please clap. And it felt like that. It felt several times like, yes, okay. He waited for...
Oh, sorry, I was about to ask at the very beginning of this. Was EA's thing officially part of E3, or was it their usual, actually, we've got a separate thing, but it's like kind of built like...
I think it was officially part of E3.
Okay.
I mean, it was on the website of E3.
They do this weird thing now where, like, they do their own separate thing, but they just tack it on, like, I don't know.
And then we get to the biggest thing they had. Battlefront Star Wars 2. And they wheel out this lady, and I did write her name down. Janina Gavankar.
Great name.
And immediately she's wearing like this. She's wearing a nice dress, and everybody's going like, "Wow!" Wolf whistling.
And an actual Bond girl has arrived.
Basically, and it took about 5 minutes for that to come down.
Fucking nerds.
And basically, I had very little interest in Battlefront 1, because I hate things like season passes and, forced DLCs, things like that. And there was no single-player campaign, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I'll skip it. I won't miss that much anyway. And
I did the exact same. I did the exact same with that game.
they start off with John Boyega sending a tweet, which he did in real life.
How impressive.
Yes, saying, like, is Battlefront 2 gonna have a single-player campaign? And apparently they showed how many retweets and interactions he had based off that. And they're like, okay, we had some good positive comments about Battlefront 1 and some not so positive ones. Constructive criticism is what we call that in the business. And Battlefront 2 is going to have a single-player campaign.
Hey.
Season pass. It's going to have seasonal DLC, but everything is free of charge. So if you buy the game, you get all seasonal downloads and characters. You get those for free.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, but wait. This is the business model from 20 years ago.
Yes.
Where they just patch stuff into the game because you've already bought... Oh my god!
Yes!
What the fuck? I love the idea that, like, we've come this far now through the looking glass that this counts as, like, a big announcement.
This is the biggest surprise!
The way you used to just patch shit into the games years ago. Fucking guess what? Oh, wow, okay. Battlefield, I'm going to address because the one thing about Battlefront 2 is that is one of the big games that I did see, and immediately I was like, wait, Battlefront 2? There's been at least 3 of those games that I'm aware of. Battlefront, it's not Battlefront 2, Battlefront 5. You can play Battlefront 2, the 5th one, on the Xbox One, the 3rd one. Fucking Crystal, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, it's a minor thing, but like, I just knew when that announcement was made, Battlefront 2, that somewhere Ben Croshaw was punching a screen through with his fist.
It's like Kingdom Hearts 3's out soon. And yes. It's going to be like the 28th installment of the series.
No, but they've at least all been called like 2.5 though, or something ridiculous, haven't they? Like, I will final Battlefront 2. I will say the trailer did look really fucking good.
Yeah, I'm like, I might actually consider buying that at one point.
But then I actually considered buying the first one, and then was like, and all the reviews were like, oh, I mean, it's good for like a couple of hours, like so.
Yeah, we'll see. So they showed a bit from BioWare as well, but they couldn't show too much because they had to give it to Xbox because it was their big Xbox reveal.
Oh.
And it's called Anthem, but we'll speak about that in the next bit.
In the Xbox segment.
Which is now.
Hey,
welcome to the Xbox segment. So, Xbox starts off... I'd forgotten how much of a difference between lots of Xbox players and me was. And I feel like I've rediscovered my kind of gamer compared to how many other people are gamers. Like, it felt a lot more bro-y, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stereotype, but I do almost feel like they've earned it. They are the very dude bro sort of... When I think of the Xbox fan base, I do think of like a guy in his early 20s who only plays COD and Titanfall, but he started playing video games when he was 12.
Playing COD and Titanfall.
Yeah, and he's never progressed beyond like the mentality of it. It's not that I'm dissing people who only play those games. I'm dissing the mentality of like, you know, when you're 12
He's dissing people that play those
and swear
games.
at people and think you're a big man, and then they haven't ever left that environment. That's what I imagine an Xbox.
So yeah.
Quickly tell me, my mate, because we were texting before the events, like my mate watched everything. We watched all of it. God bless him. God love him. He stayed up till 5 to watch that Bethesda conference.
Christ.
Yep, I know. But he texted me and he was like, "I'll bet you £5 that in the first 2 minutes, Microsoft mentioned either Doritos or Mountain Dew." Now, did they?
No.
Did they mention them at all?
No.
Well, he owes me a £5 then.
Oh, they did mention another brand, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. So he starts off like, we've created the most powerful console in the world with 1.121 gigajits and 4K. And he just starts rambling off all kinds of specs.
Oh
And all these people are going like,
teraflops.
whoa! Yeah, they actually mentioned teraflops. So I'm like,
So many
I don't even know what a regular
six
flop
teraflops.
is. What the fuck is a teraflop?
6 teraflops.
And all these numbers, they're fucking meaningless because I don't remember what they are. And I'm pretty sure that most other people won't fucking know. And unless you get like the most state-of-the-artiest TV out there that not everybody's going to be able to buy or willing to buy, then it doesn't matter much. But no, because even our regular games were great on 1080p's, super samplers. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, in the last couple of years, video gaming has reached this point where it's like, do you ever hear, car enthusiasts talk about cars?
Yeah.
And they fucking reel off all these stats and facts and figures and numbers, and it's just like, oh, fuck, you've missed the point of what the car is for. Like, somebody who gets behind the wheel of a car and drives it and is like, oh, this feels great, like, this is exciting, I understand that. But people who just sit and reel off the stats and, like, admire the fucking, like, oh, I can do that, and, like, the fucking hard practice, like, dude, just talking shit. Like, video games has reached that point now where it's eating itself with, oh my god, I can do, like, people arguing on chat rooms for fucking hours at a time about whether or not they can 1080p to fucking 60 FPS, like, just meaningless numbers and letters and abbreviations, one after the other.
I don't even get the 60 FPS fixation that a lot of people have because the human eye can even register that much most of the time.
I do remember, I think it must have been E3 2013 when they were on about the PS4 and the Xbox One and which one can run at 60 FPS. And I remember seeing that stat then where it was like, do you know the human eye can't even register the 60 FPS, so it's essentially pointless. I was like, well, why do we care then? And then they invented the word teraflop, which is just like itself. It's at this point, it's become a parody of itself. When you're bragging about how many teraflops your system has, like from teraflops is the kind of thing that Sylvester McCoy would have found hilarious and insisted they wrote into every script in Doctor Who.
17 teraflops.
Well, see, there's a reference you can enjoy.
And then they named the console, and it like goes from, why do all console projects have better names than the actual consoles?
I know, the code name is always so much cooler.
Yeah, so instead of Scorpio, which is good, they go with the Xbox One X.
Yeah. Scorpio was the one that I thought would be a weird outlier, where, because it was so hyped up for so long, I honestly thought when it came out, because the thing is, these corporations, the thing they really want, and this is what it really boils down to, brand recognition. That's why they keep just calling them Xbox, affix something to this, because they want that brand.
Yeah.
But I figured that Scorpio had accrued such brand recognition that they would literally just call it the Scorpio. I honestly thought they were just going to go, here is the Scorpio, here it is. I certainly didn't think they were going to go, here's the Xbox One 10.
And it really doesn't help that the previous version they put out was the Xbox One S.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so
I'd actually forgotten that particular brand existed.
It's just the same as bad as Nintendo has done with all the 3DSs. Like, the Xbox One X is just as bad.
And this is what I don't get, right? Microsoft especially have all these dudes. Their whole thing is brand, brand, brand. And they must employ like 1 million researchers. And every year, they make it more and more cringeworthy. Do these people not follow the Twitter feed during E3?
Everybody's calling our new console the X-Bone. How do we stop this? We'll add an S.
Like, fucking, like, how do Microsoft, of all people, not realise they're shit at this? Like, fuck's sake. Do the most basic of market research, please.
Right, so they start off with a brand. Guess which brand?
Oh, Microsoft. Wait, what did Microsoft even have this year? Because I saw a couple of their things. I honestly don't know. Was this Halo?
Nope.
No, what then?
They showed off Forza.
Oh, yeah, right, no. Again, hilarious Twitter. Johnny Chiodini, formerly of GameSpot, he was like, you know the hilarious, but anyway, here's Wonderwall meme? But anyway, here's Wonderwall, scratched out, Forza. There you go. And that basically sums up Microsoft. Anyway, here's Forza.
Because if you've got to do a tech demo,
it's going to be Forza, isn't it?
Yeah, but they show off a car first.
That's fair, isn't it? I mean, Forza looks great traditionally. Like, what's the issue with that?
But it was like the world premiere of showing this car. Not at a car show, no, at fucking video game Christmas.
Oh, fuck, wait, is this where they brought out the actual car onto the stage? Oh fuck! No, I did hear about that.
So
I did hear about that. Sorry, now I realise why.
So
it's
they like,
That was
ta-da!
the first thing they brought out.
It was a Porsche, I believe.
Yes!
Yeah.
So they brought out a Porsche on stage. Never before has this car been seen by the world. And I'm like, who cares?
Now I'm imagining they did like a big lights down, like, and then one solitary spotlight comes on like just the badge on the front of the Porsche, and like there's a big close up.
No, there was a cloak over it, so they did dim the lights.
And then they just zoom out and not the car though, the game.
I'm like, why? It's video games, it's not a car show.
Brilliant.
And then they show Forza, I'm like, okay, it looked really pretty, but like, I'm not way into racing games, generally speaking. So Forza is alright. Probably tickles somebody's fancy. They showed off a new Metro. Have you played Metro?
As in the post-apocalyptic, I can't remember, the Metro 2027, what the fuck it's called, like the some action RPG deal.
Yeah, they show off that, and the new one.
Never played it, no.
Again, I think they showed an animation and not like actual gameplay. Because it all seemed a little bit too smooth and a little bit too, like the character is taking something from somewhere. But
the thing is, like, E3 now, if ever we see a video, I never think it is game. Unless it's someone on stage purporting to play it live, I don't believe it's... Because that is their big thing. They love doing this. They love showing off. Oh, look, we can do this. And like, they love showing that off live, in quotes, on stage.
Yeah.
So if ever they just show a video, I'm always like, well, this is edited, or at very least.
I think at least commercials, they have to mention what they're using, like actual gameplay or video.
Tiny white writing in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah. I think we do see that sometimes, like, oh, it's on this console, but it's been enhanced. They make little mentions, but it's very miss it, blinking and you miss it. So that looked cool. I've played a little bit of the first one. It's alright. I think post-apocalyptic worlds are very generic nowadays, but Metro at least plays very well.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Okay.
That was like, okay, I've not played many of the games, but I love Agent Egypt. It's fantastic, and the aesthetics are fantastic.
I heard camel riding?
Camel riding, yes.
I mean, I've never played an Assassin's Creed game ever, but even when I saw that on Twitter, I was like, oh, all right, okay. I can't remember any video game ever having that in. Like even fucking like Disney's Aladdin didn't have that in. Do you know what I mean? Like this might be a first. So
a world exclusive camel riding.
Yeah, like.
And then they go into they show gameplay of this, like, people shooting each other in a deathmatch, and it gets rudely interrupted by a man who's shouting, and this man just shouting, and he said, oh, here comes... Oh, my God! It is apparently something called a shoutcaster, who's, like, an announcer for, like, a commentator for esports. And I was paying attention to this game with earplugs in, earpods, and it goes on full volume, and this guy is screaming his lungs out, and it took me out of the experience. I don't even remember the name of the game. I just remember this guy fucking shouting in my ear. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I can see how that would be intrusive, to say the least.
Yeah, so it showed off a somewhat generic multiplayer first-person shooter where you kill each other in death matches.
So the thing they were showing was Shoutcast, and that was
I think it was this guy shouting.
Okay, whatever.
Right, so then we get a sizzle reel of the following games, and I'm going to go them all right after one another. Now try to remember them, okay?
Yep. Wait, was Oddworld in this?
No.
Damn it.
Okay. Battleground, Deep Rock Galactic, State of Decay 2, Darwin Project, Minecraft, DBC Fighter, Black Desert, Last Night, The Artful Escape, Code Vein, Sea of Thieves, Tacoma, Super Lucky's Tale, Cuphead, Crackdown 3, Osiris, Raiders, Unruly Hero, can't even read that, Battle Right, Surviving Mars, Fable Fortune, Observer, Robocraft, Dunlofts, Minion Masters, Brawlout, Ooblets, Doorlight, Strange Brigade, River Bond, Hello Neighbor, Shift, Conan, Aswin, Life is Strange, Shadow of War, and Ori.
Now, I won't lie to you.
Yes.
The second you said DBZ, I was like, oh, now that I have seen. And then I just started thinking about that instead. because that I have seen, and let me tell you, I was a bit, yeah, you're not really a DBZ fan, are you?
I am.
You are. I just couldn't remember seeing you mention. But yeah, that I have seen, and that I am excited about. I mean, I think the DBZ fighting games have got a particularly great pedigree. Anyway, I think they're actually really overlooked. This one looks particularly good. But did you say Fable 4?
No. Fable Fortune.
Oh, fucking hell, right, okay. You were like, I was like, hang on, what?
It's not Fable either, it's just Fable
Fortune.
I
guessed. Because that really threw me for a loop. The other thing in there that really stood out,
which caught my eye as somebody didn't watch. Crackdown 3.
Yes.
TLDR favourite, Terry Crews.
Oh, yes. I must admit, some of these had more time spent on them than others, but in general, I didn't even get the time to write down the name before they went to the next one. So I feel like they tried to show content, but they did it the wrong way.
As in, didn't give any of the content time to shine.
Yeah, I basically feel like...
all the titles at you, and then it all becomes a mess.
Yeah, it's like, for these people, they must be ecstatic that their game is in there somewhere, but I think for the people watching, it's...
Fucking imagine getting that memo, oh, by the way, your game's going to be on the show reel at E3. Like, oh my god, gather all the family around.
Yeah, between 10:37 and 10:42.
there I am, there's me, there I am.
Look, I made that pixel. So the first one they spend a little bit more time on is State of Decay 2. And I've not played the first one. Apparently it's a decent zombie game. But it's just another zombie game for me, to be honest.
Again, like what
were we just talking about? You said it feels like it's been done, saturated.
Yeah, Metro.
No, before that even. Oh, yeah. So the post-apocalyptic thing. That's what, yeah. The second you said that, I was like, oh, like zombies. And zombie games. Like, I mean, they're good, but they're done. Like, that's why they keep banging out these fucking zombie games, because generally speaking, they're alright, but like, yeah.
They don't spend much time on DBZ Fighter, but that looked so good.
Yeah, man.
It's like they've. I've read up a little bit more on it, and they have cut out so much clunk. There are not a lot of characters in it, and there's not a lot of mechanics in it.
See, right? Like the characters is one thing I'm not like. The one thing I love about DBZ Fighters is there's so many characters, and like there's so many of the supporting. This is becoming the Dragon Ball Z thing now. This isn't even what we're doing. Like there's so many Dragon Ball Z like bit part characters that I think are really cool. And like, because when I was a kid, right, this is my one like bit of gamer cred. I imported Dragon Ball GT because you couldn't buy it in the UK. I imported that game, Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, for the PS1, and I got like a cracked PS1 to play it on. Because it had like every fucking character in the DBZ universe on it, more or less, like every version of every Saiyan and every fucking character. So then later on, when the games became mainstream, and it was like, oh, in this game you can play as like Deborah. I was like, fucking great, because Deborah was cool as fuck, even though he's in like 5 episodes. So taking out the characters, I see as a negative, but taking out the mechanics, oh fuck yeah, like when you say the word clunk, that is exactly the problem with those DBZ. Like a fighting simulation like what they have in DBZ, where it's like so fluid and it's like they fight on multiple dimensions and it's so quick, and then like in the games you move in like a really fucking binary X and Y axis, and it's really
and you have to lock onto each other and you're flying at each other like in the Tenkaichi Budokai games. The flying, it just completely, it's slightly superfluous, and there's no flying in DBZ Fighter as far as I've seen, so it's just straight up fighting. I think that's good.
From like the DBZ fan standpoint, you want flying in there, but from a game standpoint, I would rather they just didn't do it if it makes the game flow better.
Yeah, it's about quick-paced gameplay, from my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have played games of Budokai drunk, right? Where you and your opponent, if you're playing 2-player, are literally flying on different axes. Like one of you will be flying up and to the left, and one of you is flying directly down, and you're not even going remotely near each other. It's not conducive to gameplay whatsoever. No. So if it's a choice of, well, this is more true to the cartoon that you love, which is from a comic, you big fucking nerd, or
bugger off,
this will be a good game, it's like, well, I'd rather have the good game, thanks.
Yes. So, and the thing is with lots of characters is the difficulty in making them unique. That's always been my issue with it. It's like, sure, you can put in...
How many characters in Dragon Ball Z are actually that unique?
Like, sure, you can put in Frieza Soldier number 3 Aperu,
Okay, that's a little far, but I mean, like, the Ginyu Force and stuff. Like, have all the Ginyu Force in, you know. Mario doing his weird body swap thing as the leader of the Ginyu Force.
The next one that he's paid attention to is Sea of Thieves by Rare, and this one looked fun.
Sea of Thieves.
It's their big project since they had to stop doing Connect games.
It's a name that seems to ring a bell.
So it's basically pirates, and you're playing a puzzle game, but you're shooting yourself out of cannons, and you're fighting cartoon skeletons and things like that. And it looks fun. I can't really describe anything more than that because they don't show a whole lot. They show you going to an island, dig up treasure, fight skeletons, and go back.
Now, by puzzle game, do you mean like The Witness puzzle game, or do you mean Monkey Island puzzle game?
Well, they got a map, and then the map gave them a riddle, so they had to figure out the riddle.
Monkey Island, then.
So probably Monkey Island, then.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to play. I'm not going to be able to play that game.
Super Lucky's Tale, which is basically Super Mario the Foxhog, except for the Xbox.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure if I'll ever see it or buy it, but I think it's a good idea for them to do this because they don't have anything in that regards for their market.
Do you know what? They should have just brought back Blinks.
Blinks the field mascot.
Fuck, man, they're bringing back Bubsy. You can bring back anything.
Then Crackdown 3 with Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. No, was Terry Crews just in the promotional material, or is he in the fucking game?
I don't know. It seemed like he was just doing the ad, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is rubbish.
I mean, it's not rubbish. It's still good, but it's not as good as it could have been.
Right, and then they don't really pay attention to anything until...
And so why should we?
Yeah. Oh, Life is Strange for a little bit, I think. Or I'm thinking of the... No, I'm thinking of Ubisoft. They pass over Life is Strange. Shadow of War. That gets another attention.
Oh, yes, Shadow of War.
And I've got the previous one in my backlog. You're going to hear this a lot, I think.
Yeah, no, Shadow of Mordor I didn't play.
I have it because it was on sale at one point.
And it's one of those that, like, I feel like now it has passed me by. Because if I put it in my back catalogue now, I'd never get to it. So I'm just not going to spend the money on it. It's one of those things I've written off as having missed, but I've seen it played, and oh man, do I regret not playing the fuck out of that game, because it looks so good. So the fact they've brought out this sequel, oh boy.
Have you seen it, the video? At least the first video?
Well, what I was about to say was, I saw the initial announcement, obviously many months ago now, or it feels like that way anyway. Stuff like this, I treat it the same way as I treat, like trailers and promos for Marvel movies.
Yeah, you see one and then you don't bother seeing the rest?
No, it's like, I know I'm going to see it anyway, so why would I bother watching the trailer? I know I'm going to buy this game. I know I am. Because I feel so bad for missing the first one. I really want to play the sequel. I know I'm going to buy it, so I'm not even looking at the promotional material. I'm not going to look up the trailers. I would rather just go in cold and be like, fucking hit me. Like, let's do it right now.
Fair enough.
So no, I've not seen any trailers, nothing for Shadow of War. Just super excited for it.
Okay. So I'm not going to tell you anything else about it then.
Oh, you can. Like, I mean, you can tell me about it.
Oh, they're showing Orc, and he's a proper lad.
A proper lad with Jeremy Corbyn level.
He's seriously, they're like talking about having beers with him, and because you can convert orcs to your side, and this guy's like, serving a Dark Lord, serving a Light Lord, doesn't really matter much. I still get to crush skulls.
So wait, is this going to be some weird thing where you play into the previous mechanic, where you can build up some big badass on the other side, and then just win him over to your side, and be like, hey, I can't beat you in combat, so here, let's drink a load of brews.
Yes.
Really?
It works something like that, yes.
Oh, fuck, that's so cool. That's such a... So I can just deliberately lose to the same lad. So
I think it's now the primary game mechanic.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Nice one.
They're nearly finished, and they mentioned that all Xbox 360 games are going to be compatible with the Xbox One X.
All? Fusion Frenzy 2?
Yes. And they mentioned they're working on Xbox games as well, like the first Xbox.
Fusion Frenzy 1?
BMX XX?
Ants Racing?
Shrek Smackdown?
Is that a real game?
It probably is.
Because Ants Racing is a real game.
There is a wrestling game. There is a wrestling game based on Shrek, but I don't know the name.
I've never heard of that. It's fantastic.
And then Microsoft ends it with Anthem, the big BioWare reveal. Like, explaining, like, do you know why Mass Effect Andromeda was bad? It's because our A-team was working on this. Look at our brand new IP. Look at our glory and behold it. And it's just okay.
Okay.
It shows, like, people in the city with a huge wall, and they get into these mech suits, and they're like Iron Man. And that's it. They fly around a jungle, and it looks really pretty. And then they stop, and they fight monsters, and they shoot, and then they fly, and it looks really pretty. And then they stop, and it's just it. And they pretend as if actual players are playing this, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I got this last weekend in a raid. Oh, cool.
Oh wait, They pretend it's real people.
Yeah.
Like the Destiny debut from a few years ago.
I got it in a raid. Oh, cool. That is the new rare this weapon. Yeah, sweet.
So is it going to be? What's it going to be? Is it going to be a loot shooter like Destiny? Then do you think?
I think so. It's going to be killing monsters and flying around in Iron Man suits.
I mean, loot shooters are good for what they are. That's what you like, and they're a cracking business model. So
I don't know. I'm a big BioWare fan, and I think that BioWare on its own can create really interesting characters and things like that, and worlds. I mean, look at Dragon's thing. I've lost the name. Yeah, and
Dragon's thing.
Yeah, I lost the name. Sorry, I'm horrible with names. Mass Effect and Baldur's Gate and all these things, and they can create great worlds. But this just, it just seemed very generic.
I was gonna because when you were describing it to me, I was like, wait, is this Halo? Is it Destiny? Or is it Titanfall?
Yeah, it's basically just that.
You know, it could have from the sound of it could have been any of the three, but it sounds like it's going to be Destiny. Apparently, Destiny was pretty good. I never played it. I don't know, and I'll never play this either. So.
I never played Destiny. Sorry.
Nope, me either.
And that was Microsoft, so I didn't think it was bad. I think it was actually fairly decent. It just, again, it catered to mostly things that were not my taste, and the sheer volume of things didn't work for me. I mean, we have established that I've got ADHD, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll have to rewatch this again, I think, because I saw some things that were interesting, but I don't remember them for the life. So then we have Bethesda.
Wait, time out.
Okay.
Can I go pee?
Okay. Stop the
That
video.
seemed like a good enough pause that I could get in.